Baseball games are what, 2.5 hours now?
Yeah, over spring training, they put in the pitch clock. You're only allowed to throw over to first 2 times per at bat, so you can't just keep throwing to first if you're tired, trying to get the guy out. 20-second pitch clock, I believe. 30-second if a guy's on base, but spring training, the games went down to 2.5 hours average.
I'd like to know a little bit more behind this and why they decided to go down to 2.5 hours. Was it because of television time? Was it advertising? Was it the average fan becoming bored? Is it
Yeah.
most people having ADHD?
ADD?
ADD? AD, ABC, AD? What was it? HIJKLMNOP?
Yeah, it's one, I think it's just to my knowledge, it's because a lot of baseball fans are older and they were having trouble attracting new fans that are younger because of the game times. And, people are on their phones. They don't got the attention span they used to. So they were noticing that all their fans were getting older, but baseball wasn't picking up new fans. So they said, how do we do better in retention? And as I made the point earlier, it's the only sport really, besides like tennis, the only major force sport that doesn't have a direct end to it. So that the kid who sits down with his dad to watch the game doesn't know that there's 3 20-minute periods, or 4 15-minute quarters. So,
Yeah, okay. So with that being said, we're in the fast food era. We're in the era where you're sitting down to make a nice meal that takes a little bit of time to prepare and putting your effort into it and giving to your family. We're not in that era anymore.
No.
We're in the era right now of driving down the street and seeing a little Subway on the right and being like, oh man, I can get a sub in me in a minute, pay $10 and I'm good to go. We are in the era of, McDonald's is there on the left. Nice burger. Oh, they got the new chicken Big Mac with the fries and the spicy dip sauce. Maybe I'll get a little root beer and I am good to go. I hate to break it to you, but that's the era we're living in. We're living in the fast food era. That's the problem with The Irishman. Everyone's like, The Irishman, great movie, just a little bit too long. No, The Irishman was a masterpiece. Great movie, but everyone's complaining, it's too long. Each scene doesn't, there's a couple scenes that could be cut out. Everything about that movie was incredible. And that's how I feel about baseball and the length of it. Everything about baseball is incredible. Don't touch it. Don't move it. But we are living in the era of fast food. People want things now. People want things quick. People want things to be over. And people want things to move on to the next one so that they can be entertained. That's what is annoying about me with this whole pitch count thing. Makes for funny comedy, actually. There was in the preseason, there was a couple funny things where games were ended because they didn't get back into the box or something like that. It was some pretty funny events, but we're living in the fast food era. You can't just sit outside and listen to baseball on the radio in the summer at the cottage with your shirt off, maybe sipping a whatever, maybe smoking on a boog. You can do whatever you want, but that era of taking your time to listen to a baseball game, to watch a baseball game, I don't know. It's unfortunate that it's over. It was a part of my childhood that I'll love forever. And that's just me getting old, I guess. I know I'm going to be an old grumpy man. I know.
No,
oh my God,
no,
I'm getting there.
No
That's
chance.
the thing. Like the best parts about baseball, obviously, I can't believe baseball is starting today.
It is.
The best parts about baseball, to me, in particularly, are having it on in the background. I don't sit there. What was, so now it's 2.5 hours. What was it before? 3.5?
Yeah.
How much? So they cut off an hour. Is that?
I guess so. Yeah. I guess so.
Yeah.
I mean, in theory, like it's still pretty, up in the air on how long these games go. But
I felt when I was watching one of the games with the pitch count, I felt anxious.
Yeah.
I was like, man, he better get back in the box. He better get back on the mound. He only has 5 seconds. I felt anxious. I felt, you better hurry up. And I hate that. I didn't like that. Baseball is not meant to be rushed. It's meant to be enjoyed. It's meant to be, you're sitting up, in the first base row, maybe 20 seats up. You're sitting there. You're with your family. There's no rush. That's the thing about this world. We're in a rush. Subway, McDonald's, Burger King, Quiznos. It's a rush. You got to get it now. And baseball had that going for it where you could get through it and enjoy it, not be totally focused. Maybe you can have a conversation with someone. But we're in the fast food era, unfortunately.
If I could play therapist for you for a bit, I think it's because during the year, I know you really look forward to your summers, and I think it's because during the year when hockey season's on, we're so like go, go, go. At least I am, and obviously you are as well. just like go, go, go the whole year. So you always talk about the summer and golf and baseball. So I think like golf and baseball were probably special to you because they're two very slow things that come at a slow time of the year for you.
Yeah.
So you kind of all associate it as one, and now they're kind of taking one of those things you valued and they're speeding it up like everything else in your life. So I could see why maybe you'd be a little upset by it. Maybe some of the old school fans will be too.
Well, that's the thing about this life right now is you're gonna blink and you're gonna be a nine. You know, that's why I said on the Bedard interview, like, yeah, I'm gonna be a 90-year-old man sipping out of a straw, and I'll still remember this. Like, I'm always thinking ahead of how quick time will fly, and moves like this in baseball where they're speeding things up, that's just speeding life up because the next thing you know, the baseball game is over and you're worried about the next thing. The beautiful, excuse me, thing about baseball was that it was slow. It took its time. There's so many things I love to ask dudes about baseball because there's so many rules I'm still trying to get to know, and I love that. I love that there's a lot of unwritten rules in baseball, and I love getting to know them. And I feel like those things, those unwritten rules, only come from me kind of paying attention. But now, if I really have to pay attention, there's another pitch, there's another swing, there's another hit, there's another. Those unwritten rules slowly start to fade out, and I don't learn. And you're right about the summer. I love taking my time. Hence why I'm a golf sicko. I'm addicted.
Yeah.
I need therapy.
You do.
And what's golf known for? Taking your time. You know, I tell Sarah around 6 hours.
Yeah.
You know, like I'm not trying to go home. I'm not, just let me do my thing. And I just see that as a trend right now with not just baseball, but just in life. I'm 31. I remember yesterday I was 20. So
Yeah.
I'm really, really trying hard to slow things down, take a breath, maybe step outside, look at the sun, say hi to my neighbor, say hi to the guy who's digging through my recyclables out front, even though he stinks. You try to be polite. There's little things in life that you try to do to slow things down. I've even stopped drinking. Like, it's been almost since the World Juniors since I've had a sip because it just kind of slows things down. It puts things into limbo for you. It's a balance rather than just drinking and having a great time. The night flies by because you're hammered, and then the next morning you feel like shit, and then it's really, really, it just, it's hungover. It is what it is. But just I'm trying really hard these days to slow things down. As busy as we are with a tournament here, a tournament there, a tournament next week, a podcast here, a mic'd up video there, a Costco run here. Excuse me. There's little things within those events that I'm trying to, I guess, just notice. Just whatever it is. After this podcast, it's beautiful out. Maybe I'll walk to the mailbox. Maybe I'll have a conversation with someone that's walking to the mailbox and come in the opposite direction. I'm just doing little things each and every day to challenge myself to slow life down. Because the next thing you know, I'm going to be a 90-year-old man sipping out of a straw. And if that's you out there and you think life's flying by, you should be upset about the baseball thing too. So that's how I feel about that.